Hey guys, so we're here in Paris. It's the final day for the drafters to hand over their copy to the ministers so that they keep up the talk and hopefully clench a deal for COP21 climate change fight. And I have with me Nir Marom. He's the co-founder and head of business development at Lumos. And I've got to say, this is very interesting. So Nir, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
When I'm saying it's very interesting to have you here, it's because I think you came up with something that you're going to show us a tad later. So it's always good. I mean, I like gadgets and stuff, but this is definitely very interesting, a device for the future. So what is it important for you to be here? Yeah.
Well, we work in rural locations in Africa and in the future in Southeast Asia where people don't have any electricity. But the nice thing about it is that we can help them leapfrog conventional electricity into clean and affordable electricity.
So no coal-fired power plant, no nuclear plant, nothing.
So they live off of the grid. So
Okay.
so you can't. The grid will never get to them, and therefore none of these bad things will ever get to them. So the question is, how do you get to them without the grid, and how can you give them something that's affordable because their budget is a bit smaller than the budget we're used to here in the Western world. And
So what you're providing is a practical solution.
it is. It
Okay.
is. We work in Nigeria, and we
Okay.
work in partnership with a mobile operator called MTN, who's the largest mobile operator in Nigeria. They have 60 million subscribers, but in Nigeria, 170 million people, roughly 100 are not connected to the grid. So 100 million people need a solution, and hopefully we can get to them with a clean solution and not with the coal and the grid.
So you're here to present your solution to all these mayors, because today is we're at the Paris
we
Hotel
met
de Ville.
quite a few mayors from Cameroon. I know there's a few mayors from Nigeria, and this is why we're here.
Okay, can you show us what
Sure.
it is?
So
I mean, I'd love
so
it.
the average Nigerian can walk into the MTN shop and pick up our system. This is the indoor unit.
Okay.
And it also comes with a solar panel, a big solar panel, probably a meter by meter size.
Okay.
And he takes this from the MTN shop for a small commitment fee, something very affordable.
Okay.
He takes it home with him, puts the panel on the roof, puts the indoor unit in the home, and connects the cable between the two.
Okay.
But the system is locked. It doesn't produce any electricity because he got it for free, almost for free, for a small commitment fee. And then he uses his MTN phone and sends an SMS. And it costs him roughly 50 cents per day.
A text message, okay.
And sends a text message, 50 cents, and he gets electricity. He gets electricity that can power up a couple of lights. He gets electricity that can charge his cell phone. He gets electricity for a TV, a fan, a radio, everything that he needs in the foreseeable future. Of course, he can't use washing machine with this, but he doesn't have a washing machine.
No, so okay. And that lasts for
24 hours.
24 hours?
24 hours of light. He used to be using kerosene lanterns. We're replacing that. They used to do dangerous CO2 emissions. They used to make fires, indoor fumes, very dangerous. He used to do the kerosene. He used to do a generator. All of these very polluting. And we're replacing this with a cheaper, cleaner, and better solution.
What can you power with this?
So
Just a
the
bell?
average
No,
home.
No, not just a bell.
Let me turn this off so we don't interfere with the
Okay.
cameras. But the average home will use this for 2 or 3 lights, which each light up nicely a room. On top of that, charge 3 or 4 cell phones. On top of that, use a fan. On top of that, a TV and a radio. All together every day. That's a home use. We also have many businesses working with us. And so, for example, we have a hospital that powers up 18 rooms with 3 of our systems for 12 hours and and he's connected to the grid, but the grid provides him 2-3 hours a day, and he uses our systems for the rest of the day.
Oh, well. And so what kind of a success do you have right now with all these mayors that you just met? And do you think you have prospects, good
it's
commercial
a
prospects?
bit early in the day to have success, but But
Kind of
I
early
can-
here in Paris, I mean.
The Cameroon mayors have offered to introduce me to interesting people in Cameroon, and we need to work with mobile operators. So it's a process. We don't just.
Outside from Africa, do you see elsewhere where this
Oh,
could be a wonderful solution?
Indonesia, 80 million people with no electricity. India, hundreds of millions with no electricity, no grid. So yes, Southeast Asia, Africa, 1.3 billion people all across the globe need solutions like ours.
And do you reach out to businesses who could help you with your...
So just recently, OPIC, the U.S. government agency, has committed a budget to light up 75,000 homes in Nigeria with us, and that was a very important step for us. We will deploy roughly 100,000 systems in the next 12 months, impacting 500,000 people. Mobile operators are our partners, financing organizations are our partners, and that's how we do it.
Is technology the solution to climate change fight? Obviously.
Obviously, I'm a big supporter.
You're a big supporter, but there could be other things. I mean, what do you do on your daily life to fight climate change?
Well, I'm a long-term energy entrepreneur and always clean energy. Before launching Lumos, I launched an on-grid solar company that does large on-grid solar projects. And before that, I launched a company that helps utilities with demand-side management. So both of these clean tech companies, and Lumos, of course, is a clean tech company. The nice thing about what's happening in Lumos is that it's not just technology that's helping, it's a need that's helping and an economical solution. So the grid and the coal-fired plants will never reach these people, and if they reach them, the cost of setting up the grid is so expensive that it doesn't make an economical sense. But these solutions are much more economical than the old polluting solutions. So it's a nice to the environment, but it's also a need that's solved only with these type of solutions.
Okay. If we're going back to the bigger picture here, the COP21, do you see a deal? Are you confident? Are you confident?
You're asking the small me to talk about these big leaders.
I mean, every
I think-
voice counts. We're in democracies.
I think we need a deal.
We need a deal.
We need
but
a deal.
then
But that's all I.
that's all you do, and you think you would push for it. What frustrates you? I mean, related to climate change fight. Is there anything that some administrative or hurdles?
I think bureaucracy. I think I've been too long in organizations that could work much faster and bring solutions much faster if we were able to do it and not stopped. Regulatory licenses, streamline these things, and we will make it happen. I don't need subsidies. I need people to not interfere in the process.
Okay. Another thing is, unfortunately, Paris has been hit by terror attacks 3 weeks ago, and now security fears are really playing high. Do you think that it's detrimental to the climate change fight, or now suddenly people don't care about your solutions, but they're not, they'd rather spend their money on security issues? I mean, do you see it as...
I think it's a bit early to judge, but I can tell you one thing that is part of the answer to what you're asking. The nice thing about distributed electricity is that it's much less prone to attacks. So think about nuclear plants. Think about with the risks they have. Think about even regular plants where one target can shut down 1 million homes. It's very hard to shut down 1 million homes when each one has one of these. You need to go one by one.
Okay. You said that you were meeting with some people here, mayors, local leaders. What do you guys expect from them, apart from buying or what do you expect from them to facilitate?
We always need the support. As I said, the bureaucracy is the main hurdle. And if we get support of governments, again, not in financing, just in letting us do our job, that's a huge step up.
Could this be used to power a car or a bike or something? I mean, is this
A
something
small
that
bike,
apart from
a bike maybe, a car not so much. We
well, I
don't
mean-
produce enough electricity.
apart from this, I mean, are you seeking to develop it further, like for different users? Use then.
I think our challenge is big enough as is for one size fits all. Of course, in the future we will, but for now, we're aiming at a few million of systems which are very similar one to another, and then we will advance.
Do you get the financing you need for that? For R&D and stuff, or is this something that you're also likely to look for here?
As a startup, you always need financing. We are very well financed, and the OPIC deal was a very important step for us as well. But we also have very good equity investors, and we feel very comfortable in that. Nevertheless, we are always looking for the next tranche, and we are in talks here. And actually, COP21 was a great opportunity to come here. We met with quite a few very interesting organizations. And everyone is coming here, so it's very easy to do.
Okay. Coming back to that, do you think now there's an appetite for investing in climate-related companies for technology solutions provided by your companies?
I think so. I think you can really feel. We started the company 3 years ago. 3 years ago, no one was talking about. I don't want to say clean energy. Everyone was talking clean energy, but off-grid and distributed power, no one was talking about this 3 years ago. We had to find people. Now the industry is becoming an industry, and part of it is about cleaning up the world. Part of it is about the business opportunity. Part of it is about understanding that distributed makes a lot of sense. A month ago, we did the OPIC signing in the White House.
Yeah.
There was a big conference there, and everyone was talking about this. This is becoming a mainstream thing where it wasn't 2 or 3 years ago. So that's great news for us.
Okay. Well, I wish you good luck for that. I mean, it seems very interesting.
Thank you
I
very
hope
much.
it works, really. And thank you very much for your time with us, Nir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's all, guys. Thank you.